Good day, everybody. Welcome to Beyond the Test Drive. We've been spending a week with this Toyota Corolla Cross. This is in top trim. I'll put the price up there. It's eye-watering, but we'll get into all the trim levels as we go through this video. And I would say for a lot of people, I know a lot of people for which I would recommend this car too. It's kind of like one of those cars that's a utility player, but it's very, very pleasant to live with, and it delivers excellent fuel economy. This is in blue crush metallic. I haven't seen a whole lot of metallic in this. I don't really get into too much styling, but I think Toyota really did a great job with the overall shape. I actually prefer this a little bit more to the RAV4, but the RAV4's been out a while, so it could just be familiarity. Couple styling cues they did put in here. They have a little swoopy thing here, and they have a little swoopy thing on the front. So Toyota, yeah, they're doing a little bit of stuff to jazz this up. Around the front end of this looks really good. I love the light bar, pretty basic. And even though it's a hybrid, there's no like blue hybrid badges anywhere on this. So thumbs up for sort of moving away and mainstreaming this. This does have some XSE specific features. We have larger wheels. This is 18-inch on this XSE. You'll get 17 on the lower trim levels. There is a nightshade edition, which is pretty much an SE with appearance, and you do get 18s on those also, and you get fog lights on this XSE also. And a couple other things that's interesting about this is built in Alabama, in that new plant that they share, or let Mazda share with Toyota. Well, crazy enough, they built the Mazda CX-50, which is our next tester here on Beyond the Test Drive. Yeah, so this is just one of those vehicles where you just want a car that supports your lifestyle. Maybe you need some utility. You really don't want to worry too much about it. And that's one of the nice things going on with the Corolla Cross is you have that Toyota reliability. You have the economy of the hybrid system. It drives actually really well, and you get all this utility. You know, this is just a car you just live with. You don't think about it too much. You put gas in it every once in a while, you take it in for new tires, get some oil changes, and it supports you. You're not supporting the car. Now, we do not have a spare down here, so that's one interesting thing. We have a fix-a-flat. I should show this is the subwoofer for the JBL, and I've actually enjoyed that JBL. I'll talk a little bit more about that. We do have this cargo cover. We do have this net thing here, but overall, not a bad utility space back here. Put these seats down real fast. You have to come around, just grab them. Won't put them both down. Again, you don't get the power hatch unless you put a trim package or a package on this XSE. Not sure that's totally needed in this class of car. Hopping in the back here. Yeah, so if you're thinking like a Honda Civic or Toyota Corolla or any other sort of compact sedan, this sort of has sort of that kind of room in the back. It's a little dark. I'll put the door back open here. But pretty decent space. You know, it's not something that's going to wow you, but in the class, you know, it's competitive as far as rear seat. Your passengers are not going to hate you for stuffing them back here because you do have lots of headroom. You do get a center armrest, but only on this XSE model. Toyota just does they just cheese out in a couple places. It's just kind of odd. Now, there are two USB-Cs hiding down here for your rear passengers. Pretty nice rear vents back here. And overall, I would say this interior, it's incredibly functional. It's modern looking. You know, it's not something that's going to wow you as far as quality everywhere. You have one USB-C up there, you have another USB-C here, and you also have a 12 volt in this area right here. Sunroof on this one, LED lighting on this one. And just you know, Toyota just does some things where they just, you know, they put some hard plastics. And in a car that costs mid-30s like this, I'd like to see it a little better, but it's going to last a while. And I found this car to be very, very tight. No rattles. It just, you know, has that Toyota build quality going for it. One of the big dings I always have on a car, especially in this price range, is this power passenger seat does not go up or down. I think because of the headroom, tall people are not going to have a problem sitting over here. And, you know, if you're on the sort of the shorter side, it sets up fine. I have no complaints about sitting over here. Get sort of a regular old glove box down here. Now, one thing Toyota doesn't really advertise, and one thing that should point out, is this does have remote start. Here is the key fob for this Corolla Cross. 1, 2, 3. Hold on the third one. There it goes. It'll flash a bunch of times. Flash again. And the car is awake, and if it's cold and the engine's cold, it will actually start up and start warming up the car for you. Again, all keyless entry on all trim levels. Now you can see on this XSE, not on the SE, is this power driver seat. And as I climb in, you can see she's already started up for me. Yeah, so one thing I was a little not happy about earlier in the week was just the amount of small storage here. You do have a wireless charger on this trim level and the SE, I think. Down here you have your seat heaters, just little simple buttons, kind of cheap feeling. There's that USB-C, and if you're in Canada, that would be your heated steering wheel. If you live in the United States and it's cold, well, no heated steering wheel for you, and you only get the heated seats on this top trim, which is the cup holders are easy to get to from your armrest here. They're a little floppy. There's no sort of grabs in here. I think they'll hold some pretty big items. You do have your hold when you're in traffic, your parking brake here, and then you do have a drive mode up here where you can select from sport, normal, eco. You're going to leave it in normal 99% of the time, and you do have an EV mode. If your hybrid battery is fully charged, you can cruise around at low speed in parking lots, keep that gas engine off. We have typical Toyota steering wheel here. Infotainment system, you can see I got the Apple CarPlay up here. What's nice about when you're running Apple CarPlay is that you still keep all of your main Toyota infotainment system options over here. You have your main settings, your car settings, your phone communication, your entertainment, and if you pay for navigation, that will pop up there. So pretty nice. So we all do have standard wireless Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and you do get that wireless charger, but generally quick, very snappy, not the biggest screen in the world, but easy to reach, easy to touch. You do have little clickety clackities on these temperature controls. Dual zone climate in this XSE. You're gonna get single zone down in the SE and on down. These buttons are okay, but they're easy to use, and that's what Toyota has given us here. Pretty deep dashboard, but one of the other things this week has been visibility. Nice big mirrors. You do have this bright sunroof that lets some light in here, but visibility has been great. You got these little triangular places up here to get rid of that blind spot around this A-pillar, and then over your shoulder, pretty good. Let's just look down here. We have okay storage in the door. Again, a lot of hard plastics here. Sturdy Toyota shifter like that. We do have paddle shifters, which will go in on the drive. You're never going to use them, maybe except if you're in a downhill and you need some engine braking. This XSE does have a full digital cluster 7-inch screen in the middle. Now, one nice thing I did appreciate on this sort of cool, damp morning was these windows did squeegee, so big thumbs up there, Toyota. Let's go ahead and get out for a drive. You can see I have steerable grid lines in this XSE. I also have a very nice rimless auto dimming mirror. Again, XSE. Oh, I should let's do the horn. Uh-oh, that's not good. Little baby horn. A little quiet in reverse here. Oh, and one thing I should go ahead and show you. This thing is really maneuverable, and again, this is one of the reasons people are going to like this tight turning circle. Whee! All right, and look at this, one finger one finger on this steering. That's how light it is. Oh, the engine just came on. All right, let's get her out there. I do not have the high quality binaural sound system going today because I forgot to bring fresh batteries. Now, before we do our uphill dig, I would like to give a hearty thank you for pressing play today. And if you're one of our subscribers, well, hold on a second. Here we go. 60. Yeah, not bad. Hey, and if you're one of our subscribers, mega thanks. We really appreciate all your support. And if you're new here today, check out all of our other stuff on Beyond the Test Drive, and we would love to have you along for the ride. Okay, now under the hood that pushed us up the hill there is Toyota's fifth generation hybrid system. They just get better and better to the point now where they're kind of mainstream. You don't really pay any penalty for picking Toyota's hybrid. This is the same system you'll find in the Prius that is getting all of the accolades amongst the automotive journalist community, and they've dropped it in here. 196 total horsepower. You got a 2-liter gas engine up there pumping out okay power, but then you put it with an electric motor up there, an electric motor on the rear, and this thing scoots along pretty good. I've seen measurements around 7 seconds 0 to 60. I don't know what I got. I'll put the number up there of what I measured myself. Now you do have an eCVT here, and it'll drone a little bit, but it's not bad. It really is something you'll get used to, and in 99% of your driving, this car goes from mega hushed to, it generally is a quiet car most of the time because you're just driving around, tooling around like this, and it's fine. It's only when you really want to goose it. But it does give you something in return. It doesn't just make a bunch of noise for nothing. It does get up and go. But yeah, back to that eCVT, there is no simulated gears in regular mode. Now I do have some paddle shifters. I can put it over into sort of manual mode here. Drop this thing down. You know, it doesn't really do much. But I can hold gears. As you can see, I'm holding those RPMs. Yeah, you're mainly going to use the manual mode for just some engine braking downhill. You do have some drive modes. I have found if I put it in sport, it does really make this more responsive as far as the powertrain. I would say it does stiffen up the steering maybe a tad. That's probably my imagination. I can't confirm it. Now I'm over some bumps here. This does ride really well, soaks up the bumps. So yeah, just a comfortable car to sit in and drive as far as the bumps. Handling wise, well, it's perfectly fine for what this car is meant to do. It's easy to drive. You do get some swaying there side to side, and that really light steering that you get in the parking lots, well, it remains pretty light, but it does, as the speed increases, it does firm up a little bit. So over here, it's just a general feeling of lightness. Now you could also mistake that for cheapness also, but it's a very light feeling car, very airy, and it's kind of playful. It does have some personality to drive, mainly because you do get such a good response out of the drivetrain. Now let me flip it over here to this one menu. There we go. So you can see we have our 4-wheel drive gauge down there, and that rear wheel all-wheel drive system, you'll see it come online. And so yeah, you do need those rear wheels. That's all part of that 196. And then I found in and out of turns, it'll help you push you out of turns. So it is an active all-wheel drive. This all-wheel drive system is about giving you the power you need to all 4 wheels, and in slippery conditions like snow, you got 8 inches of ground clearance here. It's going to help you in winter driving, but this is not anything you're going to want to off-road. So yeah. Now braking, we have a very normal braking pedal here. You know, the hybrid systems have got to the point where you can't tell the brakes any different from a regular car. The one thing I would point out is that very hard braking. you get a lot of nosedive, but overall the brakes are fine. Brake pedal is fine for what this car's trying to do. Okay, so let's talk trim levels. If you start at the top with this XSE, it starts at around 33K. And if you throw this nice JBL system and moonroof and power liftgate, you're gonna be around 35, and you can gussy it up with two-tone paint and adaptive headlights like this one and get up close to 36. Now, if you drop to the SE, you're gonna drop down to those 17-inch wheels. You're gonna have a single zone climate control, no seat heaters, boo, a little less ambient lighting, which there really wasn't much in here. Seating surfaces are gonna change. You're gonna lose the power driver's seat. You're gonna lose that rear armrest, and you're gonna lose your front and rear parking assist and steerable grid lines. Now that SE will start at around 31,000, and if you want the stereo and the moonroof, you're gonna be at around 33. But let's say you want that S trim, you're really gonna start dropping some stuff off, you know, just simple things. You're not gonna get intermittent wipers, the roof rails go, no blind spot monitoring or rear cross traffic. There's no privacy glass, but you can do your own tint on those, and you're gonna go back to that. You're gonna go back to that plastic steering wheel. You're gonna lose some USB-Cs. You're gonna lose your wireless charging, and you don't have a lot of color choices. I should mention that a lot of folks may be considering the gas-only version of the Crosstrek, the Corolla Cross, and I actually did spend some time with those. I have a video, I'll link it up there. You know, the automotive community dissed it for lack of power, and yes, it is slow. It is a little bit noisier than this, but I really didn't mind it for the price. If you can keep that, you know, get a moderate trim level of that in two-wheel drive, you know, it's not bad. So again, check out my review on that, but let's get her up to speed here on the highway. You do not want to just dive into entrance and exit ramps. Again, the steering quick. Now this video today is like one of 3, maybe 4 videos on this Corolla Cross. One of them is a highway performance and gas mileage video. If it's not out yet, keep an eye out for it. And you know, one of the things I found out when out on the highway is I just had a hard time regulating my speed. You know, the engine's kind of going into that power band, it's going down into the charge eco mode. So this is one of those cars where you just hit this button right here, and now I am cruising. And I have used the cruise control mainly because it helps modulate the speed a lot better. I will say that I have really enjoyed this JBL sound system. I think it's almost worth the upgrade as far as adding the package. It will make this a little pricier, and it's unfortunate it has to be bundled with like the sunroof and things, but it sounds really good. It definitely increases the quality feeling because I've really enjoyed it. So I'd have a hard time not getting the JBL in this, but again, it does raise that price. But out here on the highway, you know, it's a decent cruiser. There's plenty of power. You got the radar cruise control, which comes standard on all trims, and I can just zoom around traffic. It's not a problem. Let's talk fuel economy real quick. Well, that's why you're buying this, and this is one of those cars where it's hard to get bad fuel economy. I have no reason to doubt any of the EPA numbers here. What we're talking about is 45 in the city, 42 overall, 38 on the highway. Again, that's why you're buying this, and you're not making any sacrifice for pep. This thing is plenty peppy enough. So overall, this Corolla Cross in its hybrid form is scoring an A+ for what it's intended to do. It's, you know, Toyota is the king of hybrids. They're the king of knowing what their Toyota fans want, and this is again one of those, if you like your Camry, if you like your RAV4, if you like Toyota products, you're gonna love this. Do I have some complaints? Yes, I wish the interior were a little higher quality overall for this price. I don't like the cluttered digital instrument display, and my biggest issue is the fact that I can't get heated seats on the SE or S trim. But I would tell you, the trim that I would get if I were going to buy a Corolla Cross would be that SE. And I would option in the JBL. I would splurge on that. That would give me the sunroof also. That's going to come in around $33K. So, yes, that's a lot of money. Nobody's saying that's not a lot. You know, but given what this thing is supposed to do, I'm okay with that. Now, a lot of folks will go, RAV4. Well, a RAV4 XLE is going to start around 35, and it's just going to go up in price from there. You're going to lose some MPGs with the RAV4, and obviously you're going to get more space in the RAV4. But we don't always need those. We need these sort of more compact, and for a lot of folks, this is just going to suit them just fine. Like, again, at the beginning of the video, I mentioned I have a lot of folks I would recommend this to because it's just going to fit right into their life, and Toyotas are a financial no-brainer. This is something that will never ever stress you out as far as your ownership and cost to maintain. So thanks for coming along with us today. Leave your questions and comments below, especially if you're shopping in this class and you have some questions, or you own one of these and you want to weigh in. And as always, have a great day, morning or evening, wherever you may be.